We were in the middle of our tournament where my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there. I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head. So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't. And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.
Your Honor, I object!
And why is that, Mr. Reed?
Because it's devastating to my case!
I gotta tell you, you brightened my day, ma'am. All right?
That's what the last guy said, and then he sued me.
What's happening, people? Happy Monday. Even though we were not planning on this, we also were not planning on hearing some total malarkey today on the land of Twitter/X. Let's give a quick hello to Nikki. So glad to see you today. Thank you for being here. Some of our mods are here on their day off, so to speak, because I don't normally stream on Mondays. So thank you, Nikki. Today's live is entitled Unwaddeth Thy Pantaloons. And I think a little bit of us may already know what that's about. Today is all about the allegations via Ted Daniel and Christina Rex of the federal investigation being closed into the death of Officer John O'Keefe. All right, Lulu Bell is here. Hello, my love. Queen Olive Ruthann, hey, good to see you. We've got Andrea Clark in the house. Hey, girl, hey. Christina, thank you so much for being here. Scott, hey, so glad to see you in here tonight. Debbie Blair's here. We've got Romy. Hey, Romy. I called into the Glairer earlier tonight, and you sent him some kind of a gift. And if he does his little applause clip that he does when somebody gifts something, whoever's calling doesn't hear it. So I almost hung up on him because I thought that the call got dropped, but no, it's just, it goes completely quiet when he does his little applause thing. So that was pretty funny. But anyway, glad to have you here, Romy. So glad that you're here in the Savage Patch today. Hello, Amy. Thanks for being in the Savage Patch today. Yes, Christina says, smash that like. Please, guys, leave your DNA evidence on the like button, on the share button, and on the subscribe button. Clerk Jim Clown. Oh my gosh. You are going to be my tongue twister, of this entire stream. This happened to me yesterday, too, when we had DJ on. Oh my goodness. Jilly D. Hey, welcome back. You were here last night, too. I'm glad to see you. And we've got Kathy's legs, pantaloons. Yes. I use some old words, or, words that seem kind of old that haven't been used in quite a while, but no biggie. I like bringing old stuff back into style. So Cheryl says, great, you should have had Glare send everyone over. One thing that I don't do is tell people what to do, for the most part. In fact, just the other day, so I have 3 amazing mods for this channel. It's Christina, Nikki, and Boston Brandy. And I literally was asking them just last night what in general they want the chat rules to be, because they're going to be the ones dealing with them more than I am. So there you go. Chronic Entanglement. Hey, everybody's appreciating the Pantaloons thing. Yes, unwaddeth thine pantaloons, everybody, about this federal investigation being closed. Thomas T is back. So glad to have you here. Thomas, thanks for coming back to see us once again. And Miss Reed's fire extinguisher. I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment. Oh, Chronic Entanglement. absolutely, the cursey words are allowed anytime. The only thing chat wise that I just don't appreciate are, personally attacking each other or, just if somebody is in here with a different opinion, that is 100% fine by me as long as they are being somewhat respectful of other people. If they do not have the care to do that, then we do not have the care to have you in the Savage Patch. So they can fuck right off. Spacey Stacy, hey, so glad you're here. So yeah, exactly, Thomas T. And we're gonna go over that. I have an entire slideshow that I've put together for all of you for tonight. I did some research today, this afternoon. So before we get into that, I have an announcement for the channel. So I'd like to tell all of you that another thing I did today, on top of researching this federal investigation bullshit, is I submitted my badges and custom emoji. I created little custom emoji for the channel because we're going to have memberships going live very, very soon. So I don't know when exactly they're going to, approve, or maybe they won't approve it. But if it happens, then you guys will have access to awesome fun emojis like tell the tooth, and it'll be a little tooth. Man, I'm forgetting what the other emoji are going to be. And please make sure that you email me if you have any certain emojis that you want. And there will be members only material, members only lives, all that jazz. There's different levels, so you can be like a Savage Patch Kid, a Savage Patch Juvie, or a Savage Patch Boss. So yeah, that's going to be happening very, very soon. Romy, thank you so much, my love. No metadata for you. Can someone please explain to me how this was denied? Oh, yeah, I can tell you. Bev is the type of woman who I would imagine, how one thing that you hear from a lot of married couples is don't go to bed angry at each other. Something tells me she doesn't follow that advice. I think she is still upset about whatever the hell she thinks happened with the defense in ARCA, and quite literally denied, I think, everything that wasn't agreed upon by Hankus Pankus. Please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I think happened. I think she denied literally everything that Hankus Pankus didn't go along with. So that's what I've got to say about that. Thank you again, Romy. You are one of the OG supporters of the Brit Happens channel, and it is because of people like Romy that this channel can continue channeling. Andrea Clark. So let's get into it because we got to catch Andrea up. So we heard from a couple of reporters today, reporters who generally have been, I'm going to generalize it as pretty good in their reporting, that they heard from sources and nobody gave the identity of these sources. They wanted to remain anonymous, just like Thomas Autonomous Anonymous. And those sources claimed that the federal investigation into the state investigation of Officer John O'Keefe was over, that they closed it, and that possibly they will not be bringing any charges. Now, I am not going to take that as gospel. And in this stream, I am going to explain why I am not going to take that as gospel. Romy, I love your stinking guts. Thank you so much, my love. Yeah, wait until tomorrow for confirmation on that, says chronic entanglement. Exactly. I am not willing to believe it until I hear from somebody who is a DOJ official about this. Generally speaking, they take a very long time with their investigations. That's the first thing that at least popped into my mind before I even researched anything. They take forever. Look at Sandra Birchmore's case. That took approximately 3 years, and it only involved a fraction of the suspects and stuff like that, and material and factual information that it's going to take for them to get to the bottom of what happened in the Karen Reed case. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Da. Amber, so glad to have you, girl. But yeah, so I would think that they would maybe take their time a little more. The feds don't have a 98% conviction rate for no reason at all. They like to get to the very bottom of everything. They want to know how deep the rabbit hole goes. They want to know who all's involved. Nerdy Pink Panda's take is the only one to worry about. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Clerk Jim, but I'll maybe take your word on it for now and verify what you're talking about later. Proctored and Doctored says Adelson case took 10 years. There are many that do. There are many that do. Even a previous case that Hankus Pankus defended, being Whitey Bulger himself. That one took a good long while as well, and that was federal. So, all that being said, let's get into what I found today. Yeah, I would like to know as well, Christina. Yeah, Birchmore took 3 years. And again, Birchmore, there was only one person involved in her unaliving. And then we have a fraction of the number of people who helped cover it up, right? I mean, that case, while it's every bit as sad, if not sadder, because it involved a child and a baby, okay? While it is still every bit as sad, it's a simpler case as far as number of people involved, what was done to cover it up, all that stuff. Hey, thank you so much, Christopher, for watching on X. You think Karen's case will get dismissed tomorrow now that Alberts are free? I'm not going to speculate much on this. I think that if there were an ethical approach being taken to this case at all, that the case would have been dismissed already. But I'm interested in hearing the arguments on the motion to dismiss. We don't really know a whole lot about what the motion to dismiss says right now. Oh, 100%, Amber. Thank you for giving love to baby Birchmore. Absolutely. And guys, I just want to remind all of you that the charges against Matthew Farwell are federal. There have been no charges brought upon Matthew Farwell by the Commonwealth. Okay? They haven't charged Matthew Farwell with anything. They haven't charged him with the unaliving of her baby, for example. When you know for a fact that the pregnant mother was looking forward to birthing that child, to raising that child, to loving and nurturing that child, and had every intention of fucking keeping it, Christopher, I'm not nervous about it. And you know what? If she goes to jail, then that just helps the case against her civilly. Okay? That's all I've got to say about that. But no, I'm really not worried. All right, so let's get into what I found today on what happens when the Department of Justice closes a case. You guys are not going to see me for a little bit, okay? And I won't see your chats either because I kind of like uploaded this as a slideshow. And if you'd like to see a shorter version of this, I actually did my very first YouTube upload today. I was literally in the bathtub when I did it. So the audio isn't that great because I was just speaking into my phone. But it is there. It's like 6 or 7 minutes long. So if you want a shorter version, it's a little more condensed. please feel free to watch that video. Okay, so this is what I found on the possible closing of the federal investigation into Norfolk County, Massachusetts. They are being looked at by the Department of Public Office Integrity, Public Integrity. I really like how the decorations on these slides look like the 1990s Dixie cups. Am I right? Did they remind you of the Dixie cups? 100%. So, anywho. So here are the main ways that the Department of Justice announces the closing of an investigation. And this is in order as to how often it is done in each way. So the most common way that the DOJ announces the closing of an investigation is an official press release. Some official of the DOJ steps up to a microphone with camera crews, everybody in the media, and tells them what the findings were from that investigation, if anything, and what, if any, wink, wink, Adam Lally, what, if any, indictments are being brought. Okay? The next common method is another form of public statement, be it a media interview or, it's also going to be posted on the Department of Justice website. Okay? Now, if there were any court proceedings going on, the Department of Justice is going to file something in there. They're going to put like a motion to dismiss or, for further indictments. Something is going to get filed. So that's the number 3 way out of the list. Number 4 is that the DOJ will send letters to the individuals being investigated. Okay, so let's say in this case that they close the investigation. They are obligated to send letters to District Attorney Michael Morrissey, to possibly the Alberts, the McCabe's, because I'm sure their names have popped up a whole lot in this investigation. So they likely would have received some kind of letter just informing them that they're closing the investigation. Number 5, the second least common method of public dissemination of information about an investigation being closed is through what we saw today, media leaks. Leaks to the media, hearing from anonymous sources talking to people like Christina Rex or Ted Daniel or Levin. Okay, that is the second least common way that we hear from the DOJ when they close an investigation. And especially if there is a high amount of public interest in the case. Let's check on the chat. Noodles Mama, hey, glad you're here. Thank you for the dono, Romy. Yes, guys, if you would like to help this itty bitty baby channel grow, because it's a very young channel. It's maybe 2 months old, and channels have bills. So there are means and methods scrolling below by which you can do that. You can also like this video. That helps the channel out a lot. Share with a friend. This is not a secret club. And of course, subscribe. Much appreciated. Oh, and let people know that memberships are about to roll down the hill. All right. So, Clerk Jim says, real Jim ducked us over on the motion to dismiss. Yes. I would give my left kidney to read the unredacted version of that motion to dismiss. I was so excited. Like, why did Hank have to screw that up for the rest of us? Yeah, what purpose would the feds have for leaking it? Exactly. And remember who we first heard this from. I'll give you a hint. He streams from an attic. Okay? That's who we first heard from about this. Christopher, thank you again for watching on X. This case should be dismissed March 5th in the federal court. No questions asked. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. And guys, if you want to see some really good explanations of what could be brought to the federal courts, make sure that you check out some of the videos that Aussie Insider has posted over the past few days, because she has done a stellar job at explaining what the duck has been going on that could be of interest to the federal justices. Racka Fracka, thank you so much for your $1.99, my friend. Hello, fellow Hoosier. Tomorrow's a big day. It is. I hate that I'm going to be working. Like, I hope somebody maybe shoots me a DM or a text and just kind of like gives me live updates, because I'm going to be in the office all day. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing what happens and maybe watching it in double time during my lunch hour. So, yeah. Look the other way. Absolutely, Nikki. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Thomas. Yellow Cottage Sheets. Yes. Julie Grant and Yellow Cottage Tales both used to be Free Karen Reed. Yeah, so did a certain other person named Lindsay Guy Tommy, correct? Correct? All right, so I'm going to go back into my slideshow for you guys, so I won't be able to see the chat just for a little bit. Where were we? We were here. Okay, so the least common method for DOJ announcements when they close an investigation is by no announcement whatsoever. So this is only really going to happen under two circumstances. Let's say that there was absolutely no interest from the public whatsoever. And it's like, well, why waste the time and money issuing a press release? Okay. The other condition in which you won't see an announcement about them closing an investigation would be if there's some kind of national security concern. Okay. All right. So let's get a little further into method number one, official DOJ press release. It occurs in circumstances of high profile and publicly known or supported investigations. A U.S. attorney will likely summarize the key findings of the investigation and disclose whether or not any charges will be brought against the subject or subjects. We've talked about this before. We have a suspect in custody. His name is first, middle, last name. We are charging him with charge X, charge Y, and charge Z. If you or anyone you know has any information that could assist us in this case, please call this number. That type of thing. Next, statement issued by the Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General, or the U.S. Attorney. Official reports are usually given via DOJ webpage. I didn't see anything on the DOJ webpage about them closing this investigation. Did y'all? As well as a media statement or interview for public release. They're not going to go and whisper something in Christina Rex's ear. Okay? They're not going to meet behind the building in a back alley where Ted Daniel works. They're going to get in front of the camera and go on the record and say, hey, we didn't find shit. We're not charging them with shit. So we're not looking into shit else. So, also, let's say that they did wrap up this investigation and didn't look any further. Think about this. They spent, just to find out whether John O'Keefe really was hit by a car, they spent like $500,000 just to get ARCA to conduct their investigations and do their experiments and figure out whether this even happened or not, whether it's even possible that John O'Keefe was killed by a Lexus LX 570 2021 model reversing at 20 something miles an hour. They spent a lot of money to find that out. Okay? So at the very least, they can charge Michael Morrissey with knowingly, because remember, they funneled that information down to both the defense and the prosecution. Any ethical prosecutor would have looked at the ARCA reports and said, I think these guys know a little more than Trooper Paul does. It seems that way to me. We, as an ethical district attorney's office, are going to press no further charges. We will close our investigation. We will take Trooper Michael Proctor and, maybe Trooper Paul too, and tear them a brand new 3-bath, 2-bed, double wide bunghole for being either incompetent, immoral, unethical, or both. Okay? Yeah, plus cost of grand jury proceedings. Yes, there was a grand jury federally. They pulled everybody's text messages. All this shit costs money. Okay? They know what we know and more. And you really think they're not going to bring any charges? Okay, let's go back to it. So we were at number 2, 3. Okay, the third most common way that you typically find out that the Department of Justice is closing an investigation is through court filings. In cases resulting in court proceedings, closure might be documented in one of the 3: declination to prosecute any further, a motion to dismiss, or a plea bargain or sentencing order. Okay, so just like how we all watch the internet like crazy for new motions to drop in the Karen Reed case, if there's a federal indictment going on and the DOJ decides they're going to decline to further prosecute, you're going to see some type of court filing pop up. Next, you have number 4, letters sent privately to individuals and or entities who are under investigation. So that's the 4th most common way, and we still haven't gotten to whispers to Christina Rex through unnamed anonymous sources or Ted Daniel. So number 4, letters to individuals and or entities under investigation. The Department of Justice may send a letter of declination formally notifying them that no charges will be filed. So, guys, I think this is, if it's possible that this really happened, that the DOJ, which I'm not buying it, but let's say that it did happen, then yes, they would be obligated to notify via certified mail the subjects of the investigation that they got away with it, or just that they're not looking any further, they've wrapped it up. Okay, recipients may choose to disclose the letters to the public, but they typically remain private. All right, so that is the 4th most common way. Number 5, media reports and leaks. And this is what we're getting at here with what may have happened today, at least according to Ted Daniel and Christina Rex, that they heard from an anonymous source that the federal investigation was closing and that there would be no indictments. Though it does not occur as often as the aforementioned official reports, journalists do sometimes learn via off-the-record confirmations from subjects or DOJ sources, even if no formal announcement has yet been made. You guys done reading? So this is what allegedly happened today. the second to least common form of public disclosure for the Department of Justice when they close an investigation. Do you guys really think that's the case? Let's check on the chat. Thomas, that's hilarious. Trooper Paul used a Weeble playset. Ah. The anonymous source must have been a decorated dude. Hey, yeah, I mean, maybe. Puneet lost all hope that anything positive will happen in this case, not expecting closing of the federal investigation means anything good. Yeah, but we don't know that they are closing it. Because why would they have put so much time, money, energy, and effort into all this when they know that Morrissey, I mean, they shared with Morrissey that they have better science than Trooper Paul does, and that the science shows that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car. What that means is that they are knowingly prosecuting Karen Reed under false pretenses. Did you hear me? They are knowingly, under false pretenses, prosecuting Karen Reed. Noodles Mama, thank you for reminding everybody to smash the like button. I appreciate it. It's possible. The only way any of this is possible is if either, some employee, which is a huge ethical violation, spoke with Ted Daniel and or Christina Rex, or the only other possible way is that one of the investigatees received a letter from the feds saying that they were closing the investigation. But let me just tell you right now, they would have been the ones to tell us formally. It would not have come from Hank Brennan. They are saying that tomorrow this is supposed to come from Hank Brennan. I don't buy that for a second. All right, let's keep going. Number 6, no announcement at all. If an investigation was never initially acknowledged, the Department of Justice may simply close it with no comment. Okay. This typically occurs when the preliminary investigation showed no significant findings or the investigation has a national security concern preventing disclosure. Okay, I can 100% see that. But this does not apply to us because the investigation was acknowledged and there's no national security concern. So they're not going to just close it and not tell us. What they're going to do is one of the first two. They'll do an official press release or they'll post something on their webpage and give an interview with a mainstream media official. Am I wrong? Kokomo, so glad to see that you were live. Glad I found this channel weird. So glad you're here, Kokomo. Let's see. Clerk Jim says all the reports say the investigation into unaliving of Officer John O'Keefe, Karen Reed case investigation is likely about public corruption and civil rights violations, dirty courts, etc. Oh, Runkle. Is Uncle R Runkle? Uncle R part is going over my head at the moment, Clerk Jim. But yeah, I understand that that's what all the reports are saying, but I really don't. Oh, Uncle Rico, thank you. Got it. Okay. Sweating bullets is absolutely right. The FBI was only there to protect against corruption, not expose it. if that were the case, then Karen Reed would not be still getting prosecuted at this moment. Just saying. Just saying. Joe Biff, glad to have you back. Thanks for popping back in. We're talking about how unlikely it is that someone from the Department of Justice actually leaked this information to Ted Daniel or Christina Rex. Because they want to be the ones to tell you. That's what we're talking about today. So, that being said, what is the best thing to do here? Let's go back to my little slidey show. So, has the inquiry into the investigation involving Officer John O'Keefe really been closed? Sorry about that. I couldn't find my slide. The answer is we are not buying it, or at least I'm not buying it, until I hear from an official source from the Department of Justice. I don't know about y'all, but that's what I'm going to do. And here's why. While it's possible that they did this, it is unlikely that the media learned about the DOJ's decision before an official announcement from a source within the department. Federal investigations, especially high-profile ones, are tightly controlled, and the DOJ typically does not leak such information casually. If I highlight this, can y'all see it? Oh, wait, it's not letting me highlight it anyway. Never mizzle. Federal investigations, I'm just going to read that again. Federal investigations, especially high-profile ones, and mark my words, this is a high-profile federal investigation. In fact, it is the first federal investigation of its kind into an ongoing state murder case. So federal investigations, especially high-profile ones, are tightly controlled, and the Department of Justice typically does not leak such information casually. The end. That's what I got from my research today. Kokomo, Indiana says Hanky will tell us. Here's the thing. The DOJ doesn't want Hanky Pank to be the one to tell us. Hey, Sherry's here. I'm so glad to see you. So, Sherry, I'm just going to catch you back up real quick. It is extremely unlikely that A, they really did close this investigation, and B, that they decided to link it, of all methods, to members of the media. They would have given a press release. They would have put it on their website. It would have been something far more official. Ask Bob, hey, I'm glad you're here today. Bev has already subjected Karen to double jeopardy. The Massachusetts SJC is lazy and lacked courage. Oh, absolutely, Bob. They didn't look at the overarching context of the situation. They condensed their decision down to the letter S. What purpose of precedent, if not, is this case? That's what new precedent is all about. I'm 1000% with you. This is a ding, ding, ding comment of the night. Let's see. Life's a bit. Yep. Tons of untouchable people in this case. And that's what this is about, right? You know, the level of influence that these people have. And the reason we are probably never going to know what really happened at 34 Fairview Road is because of the influence these people had. Even Lucky, the snowplow driver, didn't want to report that one of them had parked a Ford Edge along the curb when there was a blizzard right? Remember him saying that? The biggest part of my job is checking the peripheral areas to make sure that I don't hit any people, objects, or God forbid, any animals. I just thought that was so cute the way he said that. Or heaven forbid, animals. Anyone surprised with the judges' decisions today? Not really. Hey, New Hampshire dude. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for popping your Brit Happens cherry today. Hashtag Brit Happens Virgin. I love it. Oh, that's funny. Sherry says, I completely agree. There's no way, none whatsoever. All those witnesses who didn't see anything are not under FBI eyes. Yes. And at the very minimum, they can charge Morrissey with knowingly, wrongfully prosecuting an innocent person. All right, guys. Well, I told myself that I wasn't going to stream for very long. I have things to do tonight, but I did want to just announce one more time. Hello, Melanie. Make sure you watch from the beginning, okay? It's gonna knock your socks off, honest. So I just want to announce one more time that I have submitted for review by the YouTube gods my membership stuff for this channel. So very, very soon, should they decide to go ahead and push it all through, we're going to have memberships available. There will be a small buffet of levels to choose from. You can be either a Savage Patch Kid, a Savage Patch Juvie, or a Savage Patch Boss. There's going to be a lot of awesome content that'll be members only. There's going to be special emoji. My favorite one that I designed. Let's see if I can just pull it up on my phone so that you guys can get like a preview of it, because I'm personally very excited. Okay, let me know if y'all can see this. I made this myself. It says tell the truth. Can you see it? And then here's another one. Oh, thanks so much, Sherry. I know, Amber. I did spend a lot of time on this today. All right, and these are the badges. So like the top membership level, Savage Patch Boss, Juvie. It's going to be so much fun. And then let's see, we got the bat signal that we were talking about. I might put Mark Betterow on it. I haven't decided yet. They only let you start out with like 4 or 5 different emoji. And then as your number of memberships go up, you can add more. So I might either pull that one down or add one with the turning Mark Betterow on it. And then got one more for you. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you guys consider letting some people know the truth will prevail. Yes, 1,000% Clerk Jim. Sherry is in favor of adding Betterow to the bat signal. Yes, 1,000%. Bex says love the bat. Okay, so I might just have both. That way you guys can choose. And then, of course, eventually a duck emoji will be added. So, Romy says she loves them. Awesome possum. Well, guys, it's coming down the hill. I will announce as soon as they are available, but I did not want to go another day without telling y'all that these memberships were coming. So, definitely make sure that you keep an eye out. So, yeah, all the things. So, Unwaddeth thine panties. Don't worry about this federal investigation being closed until we hear from the feds themselves. Okay. As much as we trust Ted, I mean, I trust Ted. I've always been a fan of his reporting. I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket until I hear directly from the AUSA. Hey, OnlyFan! Glad you popped in. Make sure you go back and watch from the beginning. I put together a halfway decent slideshow. So, Sherry D says, "Have a great week. Have a blast at the bachelorette party. Uber. Oh, girl, I set up the whole Airbnb to where like we probably won't leave. We'll probably just DoorDash everything. All right. Please, guys, on your way out, be sure to thank the moderators. Be sure to thank Nikki. Be sure to thank Brandy. Be sure to thank Chris. If you guys have any other recommendations, stuff that you want to see for members, please go ahead and email me at brithappенschannel@gmail.com. And visit my link tree as well for a little overview of cases I support, ways that you can support this channel. And also, I think my email is in there as well. So I'm going to let y'all go. I hope you have a fantastic night. Peace, love, and butt dials. See you later.